Hi, welcome. We're going to start by drawing an oracle card from my new oracle deck called Oracle of Pluto. And see what we get. All right, so we have Devil. Here we go, right out of the gate, Devil. What is that all about? Whoop, can you see it? Well, we'll read that at the end. I kind of want to read it now, though. Right away. Let's just... Okay, and then I haven't used my Reclaimed Tarot in months. I got it when I was out in Portland back in March, and I'm going back to Portland in a couple weeks for my next round of training. It's for trauma healing. And I'm like, well, that means it's been about 2 months since I've even used this. So it's a neat deck. A bunch of artists came together and reimagined the tarot deck and become more inclusive. There's just a lot of artists, a lot of neat artwork. So let's just see what message we have for us. Thanks for being here. Whoops. That's funny. I thought that was the devil. That would have been hilarious. All right. We have the sun. I love that. So we have the devil, the sun, and the Page of Swords. Ooh. So I'm thinking about this feeling of... I have to clarify this, of course, but there's this, so the Page of Swords is often thought of as like this enthusiasm for learning, which is interesting because right now, literally in a couple hours, we'll peak at the new moon in Gemini, which kind of has that vibe of enthusiasm for learning. But how is that getting in the way of our optimism? Because they both seem very similar kind of energies. So this will be kind of an interesting, like, is our quest for knowledge getting in the way of our hope for something, or our optimism, our deep, deep, deep sense of optimism for something? How can those two things be a little bit at odds? I'm curious about that. Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper. Tell me more. We have, chaos. Hold on. I need to look. Yeah, that's the Tower. I had to make sure. Because it's called chaos here. So we have the Tower. We keep getting the Tower lately. What's going on? Ooh, and then we have introspection, which is the Hermit. Yep. And the Page of Coins. So we have 2 pages coming through. How is it that we can have... Oh, interesting. So there's some big change happening, and something is asking us, what are we going to learn through this process? Something is asking us to anchor in, like ground in, versus be too flighty about it, or too, I don't know how to say the words, but it's like something's saying, like, to really dig deep internally about what is it that's like important to us? What's important to you in this moment when there's potentially a lot of change about to happen? So it's saying go internal to your, like, seek your own wisdom about what's important to you. Ask yourself, what's important to you right now? Not just what you think, what you're usually curious about, but what's really important to you through whatever change is happening right now. Because that's going to lead you back to your innate sense of hope and optimism, not just what you have always sort of followed or thought was the path you should take. So there's a sort of redirect happening here, a new path potentially. So don't just rely on the old way that you kind of always oriented. You know, like you just did the next thing that was in front of you out of habit, perhaps. Now it's like, wait a minute, there's a fresh start forming. So what's that look like for you? What's really important to you going forward? I want to know more. Oh, I just made a mess. Those cards just went everywhere. Hold on. And I just cleaned my office. Hold on, sorry. Okay, now we're back. Which ones do we want to use? How about these? I'm going to use these in a little while. This is old school tarot. So let's find out a little bit more about this change that's happening, that's going to ask us to dig deep, rethink. Yeah, there's a big change happening. You don't want the Hermit again and the Six of Pentacles. Okay, this is this is asking you to become a little less self-centered. Not that you were, just saying though, it's like think beyond the self. Tapping into generosity more. That's your new direction. Something's taking you in the direction of helping, reaching out to others more than maybe you did in the past. Or are you starting a new job that has to do with that? Let's see. Oh, hey kitten. You hear a cat. So the Seven of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. There's whatever's happening, it is taking you into this sense of gratitude and generosity. It's almost like maybe something kind of disruptive happened or is going to happen. I don't think it's an is going to. It's probably something you're in the middle of that is slowing you down in a good way. I mean, it's time to like slow down to gain some different perspective that's actually taking you more in the direction you've probably felt like you wanted to be going anyway. It's almost like the universe did a course correction for you. Interesting. Let's see. And then we have the Ten of Wands. Ooh. I wonder what that's. I want to clarify that Ten of Wands because, here, let's use these. I haven't used these in a while either. I want to clarify because we're ending with this, like, this road might be a little hard. Just give me something. Is it? Maybe that's why we got the Devil right out of the gate here. Some things aren't what they seem. I kind of like those. So the Knight of Wands, the Chariot, and the Hanged Man. Oh. Huh. this, something is telling you to slow down and not be hasty. Okay, let's get a couple more for that one. Because the Chariot and the Hangman are a little bit... Things are asking you to slow way down. But why? Because you have this idea of, it's almost like slow down so you can go fast when the time's right. Okay. We have the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. What? I'm going to have to read that Devil card. I think it has a lot to do with why these, every step of the way, it seems a little paradoxical. Not conflicting. Just very, very interesting. The way that there's a lot of fast energy and a lot of slow energy. And it's like things seem like they're asking you to slow down so that you don't breeze on by something important that's happening. And then you'll be able to pick up speed in the right direction later. Okay. Yeah. Yep, you're going in a different direction. That was the Eight of Cups. And it's saying don't keep speeding down the path that you're used to. I think we just got to read this, Devil. This book, this is not in alphabetical order. You know how that just... I don't like that. I don't even know. Let's see. Where's the Devil? Why wouldn't they put these in an order that makes sense? It does say Devil, right? And then, of course, because I should have just pushed pause so you don't have to watch me go. Oh, there it is, number 42. These are mostly animals. That's why it was like the animals, all these are animals, and then Devil. That's so funny. Okay. Meaning addiction, abuse, aggression, control. Just like a few others in the deck, the Devil is a special card representing more of a mythical creature or concept. Should the Devil card appear in a reading, there is something sinister at play that requires total, ruthless honesty on your end. This card is a call to get real about the patterns, behaviors, or cycles you are perpetuating that are unhealthy. This, in a way, is the very essence of shadow work. As a byproduct of life, each of us inevitably has at least a few ways in which we tend to self-sabotage. This is the moment to name them. Is it addiction, abuse, codependency, something else? How are you engaging in and perpetuating this pattern now? This card isn't to poke at guilt and shame, nor to trigger any traumas. It is, however, a calling out. It's highly probable that you're already aware of these behaviors and know that they don't serve you. Even if there is comfort and familiarity, continuing to sabotage yourself only holds you back from your truest potential. It may feel scary to let go, but it's time to change the narrative. What is the first step? Name it, write it down, take it. What does this say? Another further reflection. Power and control aren't always a bad thing. As humans, we often seek these things out of our power and control. So after our power, let me restart that. As humans, we often seek these things out after our power and control has been taken from us. In essence, much of the occult path surrounds regaining empowerment and controlling our impulses and unhealthy behaviors to evolve and grow into better, healthier, more capable people. Pluto and Scorpio are both energies in astrology that deal with the matters of addiction, abuse, power, and control. So does Saturn. In evolutionary astrology, we look to all three energies in the chart to unpack long-standing trauma and the karma we're reaping. We unfortunately circle back to these same themes time and again, each time learning something new. When channeled correctly, many of these unhealthy tendencies can transform into unbreakable will and incredible power. How can you redirect this energy to better serve you? That's okay. Let's now look at this in the light of that, because I think that's why this redirect, I'll use that word because that's kind of sums up what I was feeling with like the slowing down to course correct. We used that word earlier, to go in a new direction, and then you can pick up speed in that direction. So you've got the tower, introspection, you've got these fresh starts, and not just of the mind. Like this is digging deep into like the shadow, the inner self, your intuition. Something's calling you into maybe service of others, whereas maybe in the past it's been maybe survival mode because of the deeper stuff this was talking about. If you have any of those self-sabotaging patterns, maybe you were in survival mode, but something's taking you in a new direction where you're more outward focused or in service of others beyond yourself. So I want kind of a final, I don't know, I feel like we don't want to end there. We are ending with the Eight of Cups, which is you like not settling for that old stuff anymore, those old patterns. So that's kind of a good thing, actually. But let's get one more. Let's just get a couple cards to say, where are we going in this new direction? What do we have to look forward to? Because you have the sun, the overall energy of the sun, which is hope and optimism. There's a brighter future ahead. Give us a glimpse. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords. Oh, and the Knight of Wands again. So you've gotten the Knight of Wands twice. So there is something about you're going in the direction of some deeper purpose, which is positive. And you're seeking your sure footing and groundedness and balance going forward. Okay, so there's something like you're finding your way forward. You're also seeking your truth, and something here says maybe it was a relationship thing, because there's this other energy that has to do with others. And the Queen of Swords is usually here to say, like, seeing people for their intentions. So going forward, because you've done the work of maybe your own shadow work, now when you come into connection with others, you're going to not just jump in like this. That's why maybe we had this Page of Swords here. You're not just going to do things the way you always have, like jumping into things quickly. You're going to really see people for what they really intend. You're going to have a better clarity about people and yourself in those relationships. So that's a positive thing, because you're moving on. You're not settling for those old patterns anymore. So that's really positive. So we're going to stop there. And yeah, thanks for being here. And just let me know if you want to do a one-on-one reading or go deeper into this particular story for your specific scenario. All right.